World Boxing Association lightweight title fight between Tony the Tiger Lopez, champion of course, and our own Rose of Soweto, Dingaan Thobela, coming from the Arco Arena, Sacramento, California. If you've just joined us, Sacramento has been described as an urban sprawl about an hour and a half out of California, out of rather San Francisco, California, not too far down the road there. And
welcome to the Arco Arena,
we've got our commentators back, so I'll stop talking. Bert Blewett and Leonard Neal.
Tony Lopez and Dingaan Thobela. And Bob, both men have got a lot of experience in World Championship boxing.
Yes, I think there really is some tendency to discount Dingaan's experience because being a WBO champion and so much experience, so much is made about Tony Lopez's champion experience with the IBF and now the WBA. But I really think that they've discounted Dingaan's experience winning the world title away from home. And I really think that being away from home will not be a factor in this fight, Bert.
Yes, I don't really think the crowd is going to affect him adversely. And of course, the other point that is made that Lopez has had, what, 11 World Championship fights, but that could also be a disadvantage because he's been in against some of the best men in the division. They've been hard fights for him. Dingaan hasn't had that kind of experience.
And they've been hard fights and they've been big paydays. This fight, it's a mandatory fight, and he was complaining this week about wanting the bigger fights, the bigger paydays, and it really would probably give him a tendency to look by the Rose of Soweto.
Yes, we expect that Dingaan will work from the outside. That's where he should be because Lopez's strength is on the inside. But earlier this evening, or right now, in fact, Leonard Neal is in the dressing room with Tony Lopez. And let's hear what the world champion himself has to say about his prospects tonight.
Thank you, Bert. Here in the dressing room with Tony Lopez, confidence rules. Young man who's fought so many South Africans already. Tony, it's your number 4.
Yeah, well, you know, they say the third one's a charm, but I always say the fourth one's a charm.
Tony, you had weight problems, we all know, when you were fighting junior lightweights. You're up to the lightweights now. How does that affect you? Do you feel stronger?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you know, even in and if you look up the record of my past, as a junior lightweight, once you start getting into the top 10 contenders of the world, the knockout stopped because I was killing myself to make the weight. I wasn't as strong. I was taking a lot of my muscle out. And as a lightweight, I'm now 4-0 with 4 knockouts. So it just builds up strength. I feel a lot stronger. I feel a lot more energetic. I'm not killing myself to make the weight anymore.
Good. Now the little secret. You came in at the weigh-in just fractionally under the lightweight limit. Where do you figure right now? What's your weight?
Yeah, I'm anywhere between 43 and about 45 right now. That's what's funny is as a junior lightweight, I came in at 49. And once I moved up, and I'd walk around about 155. But now I'm not starving my body so much, so it's not holding on to all the food that I eat. So now I walk around between 40, I'll say 45 and 48, and I come into the ring a lot lighter now. I feel a lot better.
Well, to tell the people back in South Africa watching on CCV Sports Arena, what you're saying, 45 is really 145 pounds. That's just under the welterweight limit.
Right.
You'll be good and strong tonight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm good and ready.
And good luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. Tony Lopez is a welterweight in the ring tonight. And does that surprise you, Bob?
Well, I know that a lot of guys have a tendency, especially when they're really sucked down, to put on those fluids and all that weight trying to get back. But I don't encourage that for my own fighters. I think it takes adrenaline out of the fight completely, and they need to, you know, have a little bit of that adrenaline to burn rather than all that food that's not really doing them any good for a couple of days.
Well, there we are. Tony Lopez, a welterweight, and I wonder what Dingaan Thobela is going to be weighing when he gets into this ring. And they are fighting for the lightweight title, we should remind you. Let's go over to Leonard Neal. He's now moved across to Thobela's dressing room.
Well, backstage here, I'm sitting with a calm, very confident young Dingaan Thobela. Dingaan coming up to fight for his 2nd world lightweight title. How do you feel of the prospects?
I'm feeling very great so far, you know, because I've trained very hard for the fight, and I think I'm ready to take on Lopez.
Dingaan, there's been a lot of talk about the weight. Lopez told us today that he thinks he's into the welterweight limit. How do you figure?
Well, if he's in a welterweight division, well, I'm not in the welterweight division. I think I'm still keeping my weight. Although maybe I'm about, 62, 63, somewhere there. I'm around about there. My weight is running out. I can go over that.
You feel happy at that weight?
I feel very much happy. I feel strong. I'm strong at that weight. And I think I'll keep on to my speed. I'll keep on to my work rate and all that.
Have you been working on speed as your major point for this fight?
Not as a major point, but as one of the points that will help me to win the fight.
And how do you plan to win it?
Well, I'm planning to win the fight in every way. Well, if he brings the fight to me, then I'm going to take the fight to him also. And then, if the fight goes the distance, well, it's what we train for. But if there's a knockout in between, well, it's a bonus for me.
Okay, now you're on CCV, Sports Arena. You've got an army of fans sitting anxiously by their television sets back home. A message to them all?
I'll say they must stay there on TV and watch the fight and keep praying for me, and I'll do the best for them. The title is coming back to South Africa.
Well, that's nice to hear. Good luck, Dingaan.
Thanks.
With that, it's back to Bert Blewett at the ringside.
Well, here we are at ringside. You've heard what the fighters had to say. And here comes Tony Lopez making his way into the ring. The world lightweight champion. Very confident young man. And of course, this is his hometown. The crowd love him here. He's almost something of a cult figure around town, Bob.
Yes, absolutely. Tony the Tiger up here has fought with a lot of heart and so much determination, been counted out at several points in time during his career, and he really is a tough son of a gun, and it's going to take something from the Rose of Soweto to come in here and take his title away from him, but I think that's just what Thobela has in mind here tonight, Bert.
Well, he's throwing roses from the ring, as you can see. He's in good spirits. And he did say he aims to take the title back to South Africa.
Yes, I'll tell you something about him. I really think that people have a tendency to underestimate his strength, his body strength as a fighter. Guys that work with him in the gym are the first to tell you how strong he is physically, and people have a tendency to discount that because of his style, being a stylish boxer. But I think Tony the Tiger Lopez is going to earn some respect from this kid early in this fight.
Let's go to ring announcer Jim Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Richard DeCure, Executive Officer, and Rob Lynch, Assistant Chief Inspector, and by the World Boxing Association, President Gilberto Mendoza, International Coordinator Bolivar y Casa. Our judges for this evening's main event are Fritz Werner of San Diego, Cesar Ramos of Puerto Rico, and Rodolfo Hill of Panama. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the waiting is over. From the Arco Arena, Don Chargan Productions presents our main event, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the World. Our referee for this contest, refereeing in his 88th World Championship fight, is Larry Rosadilla. Introducing first in the blue corner, this young man is wearing the black trunks with the gold trim. He weighed in at 134 3/4 pounds. He is from Soweto, South Africa. He is undefeated with a record of 28 wins and 1 draw with 16 wins by knockout. Here is the former WBO lightweight champion and now #1 ranked contender, Dingaan, the Rose of Soweto, Thobela. Thobela. And now, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the red corner, this young man hails from Sacramento. He is wearing the Tiger trunks. He weighed in at 134 3/4 pounds. He sports a record of 41 wins against 3 losses and 1 draw, with 29 wins by knockout. Here is the WBA lightweight champion of the world, Tony the Tiger Lopez.
Okay, gentlemen, we both talked in the dressing room. I want to remind you to obey my commands at all times. When I say break, stop punching, let go, and take one step back. I want a clean, hard fight. Good luck and shake hands.
Well, referee Larry Rosadia, well known in South Africa because he was one of the officials at the junior lightweight title fight between Sam Sarana and Happy Wemagwaji. That was back in 1979 in Cape Town. He was also out for the fight that didn't take place between Eddie Garza and Kurt Stein. And here we are at the start of round 1 of this World Championship fight between Lopez and Thobela.
Very important point here in the beginning of this fight, Bert, is the jab of Tony Lopez. Has always been one of his best punches. He's got to see who's going to win. We got to see here who's going to win the battle of this jab early in the fight. And it's going to have to make a big difference on the strategy of both these fighters.
Well, Thobela is known to have a very good jab, making good use of this ring in the opening moment. You see him boxing from the outside, using the whole perimeter of the ring. Lots of lateral movement from Thobela.
So smooth, so fluid. He's just got the mark of an athlete. And he can touch you with that little right hand that he just missed there, and just really has better power than a lot of people give him credit for.
Thobela's left hand not quite working to perfection at the moment. He's probing. This is round 1, pretty much a reconnaissance round for both men.
He likes to use that as a rangefinder, though, Bert, and he'll come right behind it with that right hand. Lopez certainly hasn't been able to find the range with his jab, and there Dingaan gets in a good shot. So important for Dingaan to get started early in this fight and not get Lopez, let this crowd get behind him.
Yes, there were no prizes for guessing whose hometown this is. Lopez got the big chair. Thobela got the big booze. But Thobela was expecting that. And I don't think it's upset him at all.
No, and the crowd's out of the fight right now. They certainly don't have anything to say. No one's accomplished anything thus far. It's important for us here, Bert, to see, you know, there's been a lot of talk about Tony the Tiger and the wars he's been through and all these tough title fights, the John Molino wars, the fights with Brian Mitchell. At what point in time in his career will those all catch up with him and reach him? He seems about 6 inches short on all his punches thus far in the first round. But he's a great fighter. He's got a lot of heart. As we talked about in some of the pre-fights, it's hard to get up for a fight like this. This South African fighter hasn't come over very highly touted like a lot of his former opposition. It's hard for him.
Yes, conversations I had with Lopez camp, they were looking past Thobela and perhaps towards Brian Mitchell.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. And Dingaan's landed some good punches in this first round.
Well, then...
First, there was the longbow that hit the target but missed the spot. Now there's a new generation. Crossbow. Crisp, fresh tasting. Crossbow cider. Hits the spot every time. Crossbow cider. The thirst buster.
Of it. He's going to make Lopez battle to keep that title.
Well, it was quite noticeable that Lopez couldn't cut the ring off, but he wasn't able to pin Dingaan down in that first 3 minutes of the fight. And as Bob pointed out, he was missing with quite a few of his punches as well. Well, both boxers a little slow to leave their corners, taking full advantage of that minute's rest.
Which is always a good mark of a good fighter in a good corner. Take advantage of every second. But you can tell just by the way Lopez was kidney punching Dingaan in the clinch there that he's come out in this round and they've told him, hey, you got to get started.
And these punches are beginning to connect, Bob. He's found the range immediately. Lopez putting quite a lot of shoulder behind those blows.
Yeah, he gets good leverage, and he gets the most out of his reach, really, which isn't anything impressive looking on the stat sheet. Coming up short with all that, Bert.
Thobela moving not as swiftly as he did in round one. He's almost stationary, standing right in front of Lopez. Don't know how clever that is, Bob.
Well, he needs to counter off of Tony's misses here. He can't, you know, just sit and constantly wait. He's got to step in with his own jab there, and that's it. Drop the right hand. Just like that. Nice combination.
Well, Thobela indicating to the referee Rosa Dealer that Lopez using the head. I think no reaction from the referee, Bob.
It was accidental. It was obviously a clash of heads. Lopez came in and landed some good body shots.
Well, Thobela's never been cut in a fight, so he's got no previous record of that. Lopez has, of course. A tentative right hand from Thobela. Lopez dominating this round.
Lopez happy to take that jab and get inside and land 2 or 3 good shots to the body on Thobela this round. Good hook by Thobela. Turned Tony's head right around, Bert.
That was the best punch Thobela has landed in the round so far. Thobela, of course, has lightning fast hand speed.
Well, but the thing there, I think that...
Yesterday, I was just a kid with a pair of gloves that were too big. But today, I'm a champion. I've changed. I'm faster, more sure of myself. But I haven't forgotten my roots. I'm proud of my traditions. I believe one must have the best of the old with the best of the new. That's why one thing will always be part of my life. King Kong.
You can see Lopez, the aggressor, but very good combinations coming back from Thobela. Thobela didn't throw many punches, but that was a pretty good left hook from him.
Yeah, the left hook actually in the replay there showed it did a bit more damage than we thought it did. It was a good punch. Come on, pal. But there's a long way to go still, 10 more rounds.
Yes, and I suspect that Lopez did more work and dominated most of that round. And here we are at the start of the third. And once again, it's Lopez who's the aggressor.
Coming in, working behind that jab, which he loves to do. He'll win a fight with that jab if he can, and won't even use anything else. He's also got a good left uppercut. Nice right hand dropped in by the challenger there.
Yes, as Lopez was working the body, Thobela unloaded the right. Right on the side of the champion's head.
This kind of boxing that Dingaan Thobela started this round with is what can win this fight for him, Bert.
Yes, he's closed the gap and he's beginning to put power behind his punches. You can see the shoulder going behind that jab.
He lands some of those good crisp punches on Tony Lopez like he's starting his round with. It won't take long to we'll see the dividends from those.
Lopez still concentrating on the body, obviously wants to slow Thobela down.
Another nice left hook by the challenger. That's a punch that Lopez's camp wasn't even concerned with. They were somewhat concerned with Dingaan Thobela's straight right hand. He gets his attention with that left hook a little bit more.
Thobela threatening with the right hand, but scoring well with the left.
Thobela serve notice in this fight right now, Bert. He's in control. He's taking control here. He's showing Tony the Tiger no respect right here in Arco Arena.
And a very good right uppercut from challenger Thobela. That could be a match-winning punch for him if he lands it cleanly.
Lopez cannot beat Dingaan Thobela on the outside like this, Bert. He's got to make this fight a rough fight. He's got to get inside and rough this kid up. He cannot sit out here and exchange jabs with him, which he wanted to do at the start of this fight.
Well, that's what Lopez was doing in round 2. He's not able to do it here in the third. Thobela coming into his own and using that jab beautifully. Scoring almost at will with the left hand. You can see what those punches do to Lopez. Puts him off his stride and gives Thobela the opportunity to counter with the right hand.
But he's got to watch Lopez off that rope. He's got a tremendous uppercut fighting off those ropes.
Good boxing by Thobela.
Yes, what a superb round for Thobela that was. Dingaan's
New enriched nugget. Motabo motjha wa di-wax tse ikgethang. E monkgo o kgotsofatsang. Tjhebeho e kgotsofatsang. Le kutlwahalo e kgotsofatsang. Ha ho polish e baballang eta tsa hao ho feta. New enriched nugget.
body both ways to try and get away from it and not succeeding.
No question about it. That left hook got Lopez's attention as we start the 4th round of this championship fight.
Dingaan Thobela seems very relaxed in here. He seems like a guy that's just wanting to know what size that belt is, Burton. Leonard.
Well,
see if that fits.
Promised his fans back home he's going to bring the belt with him. He'll do everything to keep that promise. Well, Lopez forcing his way on the inside and connecting with punches to head and body.
That's what Lopez has got to do to get in this fight. He's got to make it a brawl.
Thobela's left jab almost being brushed aside with disdain by Lopez as he forces his way on the inside.
The question is right now, does Tony the Tiger Lopez have it in him to fight aggressively? He came out here and started this round strong for 30 seconds, and he's backing up already here. He's got to force this fight, take no mercy, move forward. You can't just fight in 30-second spurts. And Dingaan's right back in control here.
That's a very good point, Bob. In fact, watching the video of Lopez's title-winning effort against Joey Gamache, he did not sustain his attack for all those 11 rounds. I think he realizes he could not sustain his attack.
Thobela has gotten his range down here. Tony's going to come out and start, and he knows because in the corner, in between rounds, they're going to really give it to him and explain to him what he's really got to put on this kid, but he's just following him around the ring right now. Good combination there, but
good solid jab from Thobela. Needs to get that left hand working more freely. Keep Lopez on the end of his punches. The champion has been forcing the pace here in the 4th round.
Well, it was really two sweeping rights from Lopez that dictated the pace of that round because...
Yesterday, I was just a kid with a pair of gloves that were too big. Today, I'm a champion. I've changed. I'm faster, more sure of myself. But I haven't forgotten my roots. I'm proud of my traditions. I believe one must have the best of the old with the best of the new. That's why one thing will always be part of my life. King Kong.
Well, I thought it was a good round for Lopez. He really tried to dominate, and for most of it he did. In this replay, we'll see how he's backing up Thobela and catches him with that solid right to the jaw.
Thobela's corner imploring him not to let Lopez get back in this fight. Lopez comes out and starts with good body work.
That's pretty much what he did at the start of the fourth.
He's leading with his head, though. Dingaan's really got to set up for an uppercut. Got to work that pistol on this guy. Keep that jab out there.
Lopez is in the habit of letting his jaw hang out. But, oh, I think Dingaan might have been hurt there. Yes, he has. You see him holding on, Bob.
Well, I don't know how badly he was hurt. He got hit with a swooping punch, but Lopez working hard down on the body. Sign of a real veteran.
Yes, Lopez very confident right now. And even if that punch to the head didn't hurt Thobela that badly, the mere fact that he grabbed Lopez to hold.
Nice uppercut.
But look at him come back. Look at him come back.
Now he hit him with another right hand. Lopez is dangerous off these ropes, though, Bert. He's a good counterpuncher. This is what Thobela needs to do to get this crowd out of this fight, take back control. Lopez giving him that low angle.
Well, perhaps that right hand from Lopez will serve as a wake-up call for Thobela. It certainly got him back into the fight.
But it was the uppercut by Thobela that Lopez moved right into, and that's the punch that could turn around this fight. You can't let him lead into him, just like that.
Yes, I strongly believe that uppercut could be a match-winning punch for Thobela here tonight. Well, for a moment, the fight has become a battle of the jab. Both men probing with the left hands. But surprisingly, not many of those punches landing. They're falling short.
Good counter right hand by the challenger.
This is a fairly even round. Both men have done well. Lopez early on, Thobela late. And that time the right uppercut didn't work for Thobela, Len.
It didn't, but...
Yesterday, I was just a kid with a pair of gloves that were too big. Today, I'm a champion. I've changed. I'm faster, more sure of myself. But I haven't forgotten my roots. I'm proud of my traditions. I believe one must have the best of the old with the best of the new. That's why one thing will always be part of my life. King Kong.
Oh, yes, he took two good shots there, one after the other. There was enough power in that to hurt anyone. But he came back from them well, which is a good sign.
Yes, but Lopez put a lot of pressure on early on in that round. Of course, later on, it was Thobela's turn, and oh, what a beautiful uppercut.
That was the uppercut.
Nice uppercut, and followed it with two good right hands.
Well, I thought that was a pretty even round considering what happened early and late. There we are at the start of the 6th. In fact, this is a pretty even fight up to this stage.
I've got the fight absolutely even right now, and I scored the last round 10-10.
I would agree with that, Bob. Of course, whether the judges would agree with us is a different thing altogether.
They certainly didn't on the first go-round. Good right hand by Thobela. Backs up the champion.
Well, those right hands from Thobela certainly got Lopez's attention. And for perhaps the first time in the fight is Thobela backing up Lopez.
First time since the 3rd round, I think. He really is backing him up, walking straight to him with a nice jab. Lopez trying to get that body work in and doing a good job of it. There's that jab. Pop.
Lopez looking to surge forward. Thobela has got very good mobility.
He really has left Tony walking. Good combination by the challenger there. And he slipped that hook. Nice smooth combination, so effortlessly thrown by Thobela.
Not that much power behind it, but certainly it scores points.
And it certainly got Lopez bleeding from the nose. Excellent work by Dingaan Thobela.
Well, perhaps there was more power in those punches than we realized, Bob, because Lopez doesn't look to be all that happy at the moment. Thobela taking over control.
And Lopez comes flying in with his head, distressing the challenger.
Good right hand from Thobela. And as you mentioned, the blood beginning to trickle from Lopez's nose.
Good combination to finish the round.
I'd say an unhappy round for the champion. He didn't have a good time through that at all. It was Thobela boxing smoothly, boxing nicely. Not putting a lot of power into his punches, but boxing well. And you can see right now they're working on that nose. That jab and the constant right hand have taken their toll on it. It's going to worry Tony Lopez from here on.
Concentration now, son. You got him where you want him. Keep him there. Don't let him off the hook. He's ready to go.
Thobela actually finished that round very strongly indeed. It was, as you can see in the replay, he was backing up the world champion, forcing him to try and use evasive tactics to avoid these punches, but Thobela kept right on top of him, kept firing that left hand.
He was hitting him almost at will. Not with a lot of power, but he was picking off his shots and completely disdainful of anything Lopez might throw back at him.
I think that's a good point, Leonard. It really, Thobela seems totally unfazed by anything that Tony the Tiger's, even the good body work, doesn't seem to have phased him at all, and he's walking right through him.
Yes, Bob. Thobela has taken the crowd factor out of this fight now, as we suspected he would.
Well, he certainly wanted to, and there's another nice combination snapping back the champion's head. The crowd's no fool, Bert. They can tell what's going on here.
Well, this is the 7th, the halfway stage, scheduled for 12.
The swelling underneath the eye of Lopez now, becoming noticeable.
that's testimony to the left jabs from Thobela, which keeps streaking forward into the face of the champion.
If Dingaan Thobela can get in a position of starting to pot shot Tony Lopez, this fight won't go the distance. And now Lopez looks like he's cut over the eye.
Yes, it does look like there's a nick on the right eye. In fact, it's probably more than a nick.
Dingaan seems very confident right now. He's in the flow of this fight, having it the way he wants it.
Well, that cut will certainly encourage Thobela. Thobela, a good sharpshooter. Picking his punches well here in the 7th.
He's landing his shots, Bert, and he's got Tony Lopez missing by 5 or 6 inches with his.
No question about it. Lopez rattled here in the 7th.
Bleeding from the eye, bleeding from the nose.
Well, this could well be the turning point in the fight, the 7th round. It's been fairly closely contested up until now. A couple of good body shots from Lopez, but Thobela remains unfazed.
Very nice work by the challenger here. He's just got Tony the Tiger Lopez just where he wants him, sitting on the outside, exchanging punches.
Good boxing from Thobela. Making good use of the ring. Of course, as we came to the end there, Lopez trapped him momentarily in his own corner, but didn't count for much, Len.
No, unless Lopez stops going backwards as much as he is, well, I think his title will go the same way. He's got to come out of that. He's letting Thobela dominate the fight with a good snappy punching.
Thobela, they're not going to give you no gifts here, son. You got to win this fight.
Going in nicely.
You go out there and keep him on the back step. Don't let him off the hook. Keep touching him and backing him up. You won't get a decision. You got to run him out of there.
Well, there's the orders coming from Thobela's corner, telling him just to do that. Keep on top of him, run him out of there.
Hear me?
You got to do it to win this fight, and that's precisely what he's doing, what he's trying to do, and I think he's going on the right way.
Yes, I think we have to remember that this fight is taking place in Lopez's hometown. You can see the swelling on that right eye of Lopez. That could well become a problem. And then there's a nick on the eye.
Underneath on top.
There's certainly facial damage there, Bob.
Absolutely. A lot of concern in the champion's corner in between rounds after the doctor finished visiting over there. Lopez starting strong this round.
Yes, he must realize that his title could be slipping. He's got to do something desperate. He's got to regain control. About the only way he can do that is to force his way on the inside. Good combination from the champion.
Thobela seems so confident, so focused. He's just letting Tony get his off, and then he's going to get his, and he seems satisfied with the exchange rate here.
Well, Lopez is certainly finding the range with the right hand here in the 8th round. And even though those punches may not be hurting Thobela, I dare say they're making a very good impression on the judges.
Well, Larry Rosadilla seems to have decided that Tony Lopez just got butted above the eye and it opened the cut.
Well, the blood is certainly beginning to trickle, but that's the cut that was open in the previous round.
I thought so.
This is a good comeback by Lopez.
Yep, he's got the heart of a champion, there's no doubt about it, and he knows he's got to do this. Dingaan seems to be resting this round.
Well, as his corner tell him between rounds, he cannot afford to rest. If he's going to win here in Sacramento, he's got to win big. Well, Lopez has caught Thobela with at least 6, maybe 7 or 8 good right hands to the head in this round.
Yeah, Lopez has seemed to have thrust himself right back into this fight right here, trying to take control. He's finally pulling the trigger here, Bert. He's not being so economical with his punches. Their heads came together again there at the end of the round.
Well, that was one of the best rounds we've seen from Lopez in this fight, Len.
Yes, well, he did come back into it in that round, and he did well too, because he's a little bit of a mess at the moment. He's cut above and underneath the right eye, and there's also a bit of a swelling under the left. So he's really, and his nose as well, so he's really having a bit of a struggle against the odds. But he used power, he used strength.
You're behind on the fight right now, okay? You got to get.
I think he felt that maybe that title was slipping a little bit, so he had to go all out. And although Dingaan was told, you've got to keep him on the back foot, Lopez tried just that little bit harder.
Jab, right hand, left hook. Jab, right hand, left hook. Okay.
Well, as we said earlier, this was perhaps one of the best rounds of the fight for Lopez. He certainly regained control, and you can see how and why in these replays. Causing Thobela to miss and countering with solid rights to the jaw. Round 9 scheduled for 12. And once again, the fight balanced on a knife edge, Bob.
That's right. Let's see if Lopez can continue this pressure, putting himself back into the fight, or if Dingaan sways this back in his direction. Good right hand by the champion.
And another. Lopez picking up from where he left off at the end of the 8th.
Thobela lands a good jab right hand on that eye and open that back up.
Thobela needs to pick up his punch rate.
He's certainly been successful rolling that right hand often during this fight.
I would suspect that Thobela needs to try and break Lopez's rhythm and range. And the only way he's going to do that is by throwing a lot of punches.
Dingaan's corner imploring him to move forward.
Thobela pushing out the left jab, not snapping it out as he was doing earlier. That's probably one of the reasons why Lopez is just walking right through it.
Lopez leaning over like he's begging for an uppercut, and a nice left hook landed by the challenger. Tony the Tiger is like a funnel for that uppercut. Good defense by Thobela, blocking both those shots.
Well, there was an attempt to throw the uppercut.
A little hitting and holding there.
Didn't quite come off by Thobela.
But Thobela has certainly stopped Lopez from his wholesale advancing, although he missed some of those punches.
But this is what he needs to do. He's got to throw punches and throw as many as he can. He's got to keep that punch rate up. Otherwise, Lopez will continue to dominate the fight. Well, the impression I have, Bob, is that Lopez not putting quite the same snap behind his blows as he had done earlier.
The point, I think, is, Bert, that Tony's not in a position to put together back-to-back rounds like he needs to control this fight.
Good right hand from Lopez, catching Thobela high on the side of the head. Thobela taking it well.
He's got to set and use that uppercut.
Yeah, I think Bob hit a good point there with that comment about back-to-back rounds, because Lopez certainly is up in one and not so
His
high
punches
in the
aren't
next.
even hard now.
He was
He's
inclined to
tired.
slide away a little bit in that round, and Dingaan was looking a lot better. He did catch him with some good punches, although a couple of sweeping rights from Lopez got through. I thought Dingaan was getting right back into it again, because Lopez wasn't forcing the pressure again.
Short punches.
Yes, Thobela boxed well at the start of the round, and
Got to win the next 3
but
rounds.
I think you would agree that Lopez, and you can see them working on the eye, that eye doesn't look very good, Bob. Came back to it quite well towards the end.
Let's take it to him. 4 rounds, okay?
It's a nasty cut just underneath the eyebrow.
You got to keep on top of it.
There's another one curls away high on the cheek underneath the eye.
There's that big right hand, a couple of them from Lopez, and we come to the start of the 10th round of this World Championship fight. Well, there's very little to choose between the men on my card. Bob, how do you see the fight?
I've got Thobela ahead by 1 point. I'll tell you something, there's a lot of mutual respect going on in here right now between these two guys. Thobela's just started this round, landing some good combinations. And Tony the Tiger knows he's got to move forward and take control of this fight, but he's pushing his right hand.
Well, I've got the fight even after 9 rounds. It is closely contested, but of course we must remember it's been fought in Lopez's hometown, and a closely contested fight. I suspect the decision would go to the champion. But that eye is looking pretty bad, Bob.
Yeah, the eye looks horrible right now, but Dingaan Thobela's really got to get to work right now. There you go.
That's the sort of thing he has to do.
He's got to win this championship right here, Bert. They're not going to hand it to him, least of all in Arco Arena. He's got to win it right now, and this is the time for him to take complete control of this fight. He seems very fresh. He seems to have it in him.
There's only 3 rounds to go. Oh. And Thobela needs to win those rounds big. He caught Lopez with a very good right to the jaw.
Hurt Lopez with that combination. He's got Tony backing up.
The uppercut didn't quite land. It caught Lopez on the chest. The intention was good.
No, Jesse Reed in the corner has told him throughout the fight, go ahead and hit him in the chest with that jab. Good combination by the challenger. Lopez is really busting up here, Bert.
Yes, world champion beginning to come apart at the seams.
But he's certainly willing here.
Looks as though the fight is turning in favor of the South African challenger. The crowd trying to urge the local man to pick up his punch rate and get back into the fight is not working.
No, he's really not. It seems almost from fatigue or whatever, Tony's starting to stand up and get hit with those punches rather than stay down in that defensive crouch.
Very good round for Dingaan Thobela, Len.
You got to win this last round. Okay, you didn't win that round. You got
He's going to take it, but work on it.
Tony, you have to win this last round, okay?
Control, but I just wanted to that's something don't sweat.
Don't blink your eye. Just relax.
Well,
Tony, you have to win this last round, okay?
The doctors have a look at that cut, and I think they are or will. I wouldn't be surprised if they stop this
I'll be
fight.
surprised because I see Sal Senior, the father, coming into the ring now to have a look at it. And it's a cruel cut.
That's a bad
and
cut.
Dingaan will really move into him now. One thing about this, there was a great belief, and it came, I know, through the Lopez camp as well, that Dingaan Thobela would fade in the last part of this fight. Anything but that has happened.
Well, here's some replay from that round, which was a big, big round for Dingaan Thobela, and you can see why in this replay as he unleashes blows to the champion's head. Can hardly miss with those punches. Look at the jab, bang on the button, and missed with the uppercut, but scored with just about everything else, including that very good left hook from Thobela.
Several times during the intermission, Tony Lopez's corner told him, you've got to win this last round. It's such a, if he thinks this is the last round and he shoots his wad here, he's really going to be upset and disappointed when he finds out he's got to come out for another one.
Well, he certainly made a livelier start to the 11th than he did at the 10th. But from what we've seen earlier, Lopez unable to sustain this kind of attack for long.
Thobela seems superbly confident right now. Easily blocked those punches. Thobela standing right there parrying Lopez's blows. Needs to get his own off, and there we go.
Lopez throwing many of his punches from the outside. Thobela pushing him through straight.
Oh, nice combination. Hurt Lopez. Stood him straight up in the air. And Lopez answers back with one of his cleanest right hands of the fight.
Thobela blocking many of those shots to the body. But he's not backing off, you notice. Standing his ground.
A horrible cut above that eye. Tony reaching desperately with that right hand. Another good combination by the challenger. It's got Lopez backing up to the ropes.
Now Thobela beginning to cut loose with a barrage of punches and forcing Lopez back with a shot to the head.
We're going to have a new champion here, fellas.
The fight has turned, no question about it.
Thobela in complete control of this fight. Lopez reaching desperately with the right hand. That eye looks horrible. Oh.
Thobela in superb physical condition. Taking everything that Lopez can dish out and coming back with more.
And he hurt Lopez again with a right hand counter. Brilliant boxing by the Rose and Stiletto here. This is a magnificent effort we're watching here.
Well then.
It'd certainly be a tragedy if the judges do go against things and use what they call a hometown decision. Because Dingaan Thobela has put up easily the best fight of his career. He's really looked like a world champion in what we've seen of him here.
You got to throw him.
We'll have a replay here, and you'll see some of that. Lopez tries hard, but there we go with Thobela scoring, snapping the blows, and much, much neater.
Well, Thobela could hardly miss with his shots in this round. Looked very good indeed. No, he looked like the champion. Lopez looked like the challenger. And I wouldn't want to underrate Tony Lopez, but it does look as though he shot his fault line.
Unless he comes out with something big now. And I think he looks like a pretty jaded fighter at this stage.
Big, Tony.
Well, Bob, I've got Thobela 2 points ahead on my card. How do you see the fight at this stage?
I believe I've got him 3 points ahead on my card.
Come on, Tony. Big round, Tony. Stay on him the whole time. The whole time, Tony. Tony, jab right hand.
Oh, here comes Thobela. The 12th and final round of this World Championship fight at stake, the WBA Lightweight Championship of the World.
Thobela in complete control. Lopez reaching's got nothing left on his punches.
So Lopez Jr. told Lopez to stay right on top of Thobela in this round. He hasn't managed to close that gap.
Just as I said, he had nothing back. He rocked Dingaan's head back with a good right-hander.
Well, he is a champion, and he does dig deep. Well, you probably hear that roar of support from the crowd here in the Arco Arena.
Dingaan easy parrying away those jabs by Lopez. I believe after the first minute of this round, Dingaan Thobela is really going to get started here.
Yes, he would be well advised to make a strong finish to this fight.
He's fresh, he's got plenty left, and he doesn't want to waste it.
Lopez looking and fighting like an old man in the ring now. And Thobela picking him off with lefts and rights.
We're going to have a new champion here, fellas. This is a huge upset.
It certainly looks that way. Superb exhibition of boxing from Dingaan Thobela.
Not a mark on him, Bert.
Totally unmarked. Totally unmarked, totally unfazed. And in superb physical condition.
With all the talk this week about the controversy in the camp and how Thobela was uneasy and unnerved and didn't get the right sparring, it really got to go right out the window now. All those experts. Somebody forgot to tell them. We got a new sheriff in town, it looks like. Thobela looks like he's capable of fighting another 5 to 7 rounds.
Oh. Lopez looks as though almost is about to go down, and he might yet. Bell coming up very shortly, but Lopez looks to be hurt. That's it. And
that was a tremendous last round again. I think we must all agree. Bob's even more confident than we are, but nonetheless, I think Dingaan Thobela's done enough to come through here. Let's hope the judges are in agreement with us. But it's been a first-rate fight. A great-hearted champion. Give him 4 points for that. He never gave up the ghost. He kept trying even in those last few rounds when he was really fading out. He pulled out everything he could, every resort he could find. He was doing great. But let's see what happens. But I think, Bob, you agree. We're going to add up your scorecard now. You make Dingaan 4 points ahead. 117, 113. Well,
honestly, Leonard, I thought I was very conservative in the scoring. Thobela, Lopez did a good job in the fight. He did what he could. He fought with a lot of heart, but I really think, as we discussed earlier in the fight, it was hard for him to really get up for this, you know, the way he would for a big money fight, whereas Thobela, this was everything in the whole world to him, and he fought like it. Lopez fought in spurts, and really, Thobela took control of this fight after about 8 rounds, and just handled complete control after that.
Well, there you really see him hanging on in the end of that round, Lopez. Thobela really going full steam at him.
Just bent at the waist and reaching. If the silence in this building is any indication, I think I'm right about there being a new champion.
Yes, they would be rejoicing. They'd be all cheering and happy, and they're quietly moving out the door, many of them.
Real educated group of fight fans here, and it's a credit to them that I think that they're in their minds, Leonard. They know who won this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Judge Fritz Warner scores it 115-113. Judge Rodolfo Hill scores it 116-114. Judge Cesar Ramos scores it 116-114. Winner by unanimous decision. And still, the WBA lightweight champion of the world, Tony the Tiger Lopez.
Well, Bob, I'm dumbfounded, Leonard. I was so confident the scoring. I mean, it's an embarrassment.
Yes, I think there'll be a few people feel the same way around here, but they're carrying Lopez around, and you can see on your screen a very dejected-looking Dingaan Thobela. Well, somewhere in this ring is Bert Blewett, who's going to try and get an interview with the winner and possibly the loser as well. The cruelest thing is that Dingaan Thobela loses his unbeaten record in a circumstance such as this.
Yeah, there's nothing that can be said to the kid right now, Leonard. Put up a magnificent performance here, and we'll go up to Bert.
On what must have been a hard fight for you?
You know, he moved a lot different than I thought he would. That's what gave me most of the problem. I thought he was going to move one way, and he moved totally a different way. And taking nothing from him, he's a good fighter. He's rated number one. He should be number one. He's a great fighter. And one day he will be a good champion, a great champion, but just not right now.
Now this cut on your right eye looks pretty ugly to me. Did that bother you?
A little bit. During the fight, it was blurry most of the time, but you know, you try to play it off and not rub on it too much, because then the guy knows and he starts hitting on it. So I only rubbed it like once or two or three times, and that was about it.
Towards the end of the fight, the 12th round, he seemed to hurt you with some right hands. Were you really hurt?
I think I was more tired and less lustic than anything. You know, but he hit decent. I mean, he's not a soft puncher, and he's not a real devastating puncher. I never thought I was going to get knocked out or anything, but, you know, he threw some pretty hard punches, you know.
Looking at it from the outside of the ring, it seemed to me that, well, you have some replay, and perhaps you can tell us what you think of this replay.
Well, I actually see right open to right overhand right, but for some reason tonight I couldn't get him off. And that's sometimes my best punch, is an overhand right. I just couldn't get him off enough tonight.
Well, you put him with some good ones, but he seemed to take them very well.
Yeah, he took him exceptionally well. Oh, yeah, there's that cut. It looks all right. Yeah, not too bad.
Well, your features don't look that badly.
No, not really. Not in, 20 years of boxing, I'm still all right.
At the end of the fight, were you confident you were going to get this decision?
Yeah, you know, I thought it was a close fight, but I thought I had it, you know. I didn't think I was in intent of losing it. I picked up the last round just, you know, to make sure myself and my corner, make sure that I did take it. So the last few rounds, I picked it up a little bit, took it down, picked it up, took it down, and just played with it. But I thought I was winning. I thought I won the fight. But it was a good fight, no doubt about it.
Well, you probably noticed in the ring here is Brian Mitchell, and I know you would dearly love to get him back in the ring with you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, right now, Brian Mitchell's Brian Mitchell, and he's my friend right now. And but when the bell rings, it's business. Right now, we can be buddies.
I think they want to put your championship belt around your waist. I'm sure you'd like that.
Oh, yeah. What all right. Thank you.
Well, now we have Brian Mitchell and Tony Lopez in the ring together, but not to fight at this stage. Brian, have you got any plans for Tony now that he's once again the champion?
Well, Bert, you know, there was a lot of speculation around my coming back, but we said obviously Tony had to win the fight because Tony is a very marketable person. I mean, he's just won another world title. He showed tonight what a great warrior he is, and, you know, he's definitely the kind of guy that can pull in the crowd, and I'm the kind of guy that can pull in the crowd. And well, it makes for exciting negotiations now, so we'll see what can happen. He's a great warrior, fantastic fighter, and he deserves to earn a good payday. And well, if I come back, it has to be for a good payday.
Well, you say if you come back, are you going to come back?
Well, it's still up for negotiation. I'm retired right now, and I'm on vacation, so, and he's going on vacation. This is a great fighter. I've got a lot of respect for you, Tony.
Thank you.
Tony,
thank you.
Would you come to South Africa to defend your title against Brian Mitchell?
Like Brian myself, if it's a good payday, I'll go to South Africa and we'll fight. And if we go back to fight, it'll be one of the best fights South Africa has had.
Thank you very much indeed.
We're both hungry fighters, and we both come there to fight.
Thank you very much indeed, Tony. Thank you, guys. We go back to Bob and Leonard at ringside.
Yes, well, here we are. End of the fight. My reaction. Okay. Tony the Tiger Lopez, his reactions after the fight, although his corner was telling him throughout that he was behind and he had to knock this guy out the last 3 rounds, he seemed to think himself that he was very confident in winning the fight the entire time. But I really don't vacillate at all on my scoring. I thought Thobela had won the fight, and I really have no apologies about the way I scored it. Just goes to show you how strong of a hometown edge it can be here in Sacramento.